So talking about time, what is being expressed here, what's being suggested here is that time is an illusion. It's an illusion of continuity. So the conceptual me is maintained by a conceptual or illusory time. Imagine history from an imaginary perspective to maintain an inconsistent reality that is a very persistent illusion. Although there is a felt sense of a trajectory or a linear movement of time and space, that I am continuous, that I'm doing this, that I'm moving, that I have a history, that I was born and I will die. I am here now and would like to get there somehow. All of that is just a suggestion, it's an illusion of continuous movement, which is an illusion. So there's no before or after, but only this and this not. It is this and not this at the same time. So what this seemingly is the unknowable presence without a source, without any history, that's seemingly occurring, but it's completely still. So like a singular dream of stillness that has a manufactured movement of beginning and ending, you can't figure it out because you are that manufactured movement. So there's no path when seemingly there was no continuous experience, or there's no journey, because it's not even a pathless path, because journey or path requires a movement. It is always stillness. Stillness is longing for its own stillness in illusory time. But the longing is an illusory trap of thinking that maybe by moving, by doing something, by listening to this, or trying to figure it out, or trying to do some ninja mind tricks of trying to create stillness, when it's all stillness already. Simply, there is no doer. Doing or non-doing is just stillness appearing as that. Since continuity is just an illusion of stillness, there's nothing to get. There's nothing to figure out. There's nothing to know. Because this is it. It's all this and not this at the same time. So there's this continuous imagination of something that I have done in the past that somehow got me here. I usually hear in one-on-ones, oh, it's been 20 years or 30 years or 40 years or a week of seeking. But I want to end that seeking. But there's no seeking to end when it's an illusion. When there's nothing to go, there's nowhere to go, because it's always this. It's always this. And this is stillness already. What seems to be occurring is just this perpetual stillness that is continually moving, and it cannot be understood. It cannot be figured out. So what appears as continuity is just an appearance. For example, I often talk, and I'll say in the story, I was a teacher for this many years, and some people think that they have to go into that trajectory, into that journey of trying to do something. Or the other one that I usually get is, comments on on YouTube, which is really fun, is you have not suffered enough. As if there was a prerequisite for what this is. There's no one here that got to anywhere. There's just a clarity that it's all stillness. It's already done, meaning it's completely still already. There's nothing to figure out because there was no history, there was no clue, there was no problem in the beginning. So in the absence of problem, in the absence of everything, there's just this stillness, but there is this movement. There's this illusion of continuity, history, or, when will I get it next week, which is just a narrative, a play. It's a silly game of stillness. It's like watching one of those elaborate heist movies where they have, like a whole bunch of techniques and everything on how to crack the safe. And then when they got to the ending, the safe has always been open. It's like they could create this team of trying to kind of be the driver, I love heist movies, by the way. And when they get to the safe, oh, it's always been open. And when they open, it's nothing and everything happening at the same time. So there was no sequence on how to get here. There's no path. There's no practices. That could happen, and there's nothing wrong or right about that. It's just what's happening. But when it's seen that it's already stillness, that you always land in stillness and there's no you in stillness, it's like having arrived but not arriving at the same time. It always is what is, and whatever it is as it is. And there's nothing that can be done about what is, because what is going to be always what it is. But even if there's a doing, it's just a dance. It's just like flirting. When it's already in perfect unison, but there was nothing united. It was never separated. It's complete unicity already. It's completely it already. It's already whole and complete. But it also feels not complete and whole. That's why it's whole and complete, because everything is included in it. It feels like there's a movement, a history of seeking, and then a longing for the ending of the seeking. But that's just all a dance in stillness. It's just dancing stillness. It's flirting with itself. It's already the perfect lover, as, excuse me, Tony would say it. It can never leave. It can never go away, because it's already this. This is already done. It's already finished. Gotta have a sip. So in this delicious sharing of what is, everything is already finished, because every single movement is an illusion. Every single knowing is an illusion. Every single arrival is an illusion. Everything is an illusion, but it's already what is. So what is in the illusion of whatever it is, time, me, concepts, stories, is already what is. And what is constantly still. It's completely like a stalemate. Anything that you do, anything that you try, anything that you try to attain is an illusion of continuity. There is no journey to get here, because here is always here. This is always this. It might not appear as here, it might not appear as this, but it's always this. It includes everything. And its completeness and its obviousness and stunningness and its clarity it requires no words, and it requires no speaking. But somehow speaking is happening and trying to express this, because I love it. There's no I here, but there's a love for this. And why not? So if you have any questions, please go ahead. Thank you so much for coming. There, I can see everyone. Kathy. Hey, Kathy.
Hi.
No,
Hi.
it wasn't.
Is somebody talking?
Yeah, I raised my hand.
Oh, Vera first, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go
Vera
ahead.
and Kathy, sorry. I didn't see that, Vera, sorry.
I'll
Hi,
see
Vera.
you after Vera.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah. this idea of time, it moves me really a lot. And what I realized just at the moment, there is seemingly a huge impact, no matter if I look, so to say, to the past,
Yeah.
to the future, even to the present. And it is all, I feel my heart racing now. There's so much emotions and feelings around the idea of time.
Yes.
I presume when there were no time, there is no, there is not. Yeah, but yeah, how free, how liberating could it be when I'm not depending on this idea? And mostly what came to my mind a few minutes ago when I really listened closely to you is this very sticky idea of regrets.
Yes.
Well, and that came to me because of special situation with my body, and it is really close and makes me emotional. Yeah, because there is the idea behind that I should have done things earlier to prevent things what happened with my body now.
Yeah.
And that's not too easy for me, but I feel that I have to open up and to share it.
Oh, yes, please. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very hard to, to swallow, hard to believe that the time is illusory. Although, it seems very obvious, but it's just not really believed, right? There's a belief system of time and everything. And it's something that's never really questioned. Time is a consistent, illusory, persistent reminder of what reality is. So when you take time away, there is no reality. If you take time away, there's no me. If there's no continuous you don't even exist. And then if you take the continuous, memory of others or the history of others, there's no others. So time is just this very, very persistent, sticky kind of like situation. I know what you're saying. Yeah, but it's so liberating when it's seen. Well, no one sees it, but when it's seen that this is timeless already, timeless stillness that's appearing as this movement, that's appearing as this, happening.
I hope that I can feel it. It's not to understand. It is even more than rational.
Mm-hmm.
To get it, to feel it. Because just yesterday when I went to see a doctor, and it was hard. She really blamed me. Why did you not come earlier for running tests? And now you are in this situation. And it was not. It didn't make me give joy. It was really hard to digest, and it felt surreal.
Yes, it's like it's when it's seen that this is just timelessness. So everything that seems to hold us as accountable, or as a lot of shame about some stuff that we did not do, that seems to vanish, right? It appears and vanishes at the same time because there's no more holding on to it. Because the holding on to it is the holding on to the continuous experience of this apparent living. What appears is just this seemingly appearance and disappearance. Like, for example, in the morning, breakfast. And then you forget about everything. And then, meeting, coffee, right? There's just this bursts of happenings in stillness. And all of that burst or that movement is not seen as continuous. It's just seen as it is.
Again, this topic feels for me so loaded because I'm really excited. My heart is really
Yeah.
Openly to say, what could you suggest for what to support the idea to loosen more and more from this idea to free myself myself the idea of yeah yeah, to make it lighter at the
I wish
final.
I could suggest something, but suggesting something is just another illusion. And suggesting to another illusory character is just the maintenance of the illusory experience of what is. So what is not it cannot really be experienced, right? It is what is. It's not a movement, it's just what is. So it is this illusory, experiencing of time, but there's also this stillness where all of this is seemingly occurring from. So what is stillness is like a resonance, right? There's a resonance. It's kind of like when you wake up in the morning after a really loaded dream about something that was really heavy. And then when you wake up in the morning, there's just this brief moment of nothing happened because it's all a dream. Although it felt absolutely real. So every seeming moment that's appearing in this apparent time is like that. There is this, again, there's this illusion of continuity, and there is this illusion that you are continuous. But what's being suggested is that there is just this dream that is timeless, that is, let's just even say it, and this is not going to sound really well, but it's pointless as well. But it feels loaded sometimes. It feels really, really heavy. Kind of like when you have a dream that feels absolutely real and you wake up and you need to grab a glass of water and you have to take a breath for a while, or you need to drink a glass of water because there's a belief in what happened, but that diminishes when it's seen that it's a dream. So what is being expressed here is that although this feels absolutely real, it's also not real at the same time.
Yeah, but it made me cry.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's a relief sometimes, right? When there's just this, because I used to do that too. I used to take everything so seriously, and I used to, I tried to manipulate, control my life. When it's seen that there's no controller, because controlling or manipulating is an appearance of movement in stillness. So any movement that I do, any kind of like meddling that I did, is just causes suffering. So when it's seen that every single movement is an illusion, is an expression of the infinite. This is just the infinite expressing as this, whatever it is. And there's a relief, kind of like, like that moment when you wake up from the bad dream, you're like, oh, okay, right? And it appears again, this dream.
Yeah, thank you so much for being with me in this.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for the beautiful questions. Kathy. Hello. I can't hear though, Kathy. You have to unmute yourself.
How's that? You
Good.
unmuted me, right?
Yeah,
you just unmuted me.
Yeah.
Because I was looking for the thing at the bottom. Anyway, I didn't want to talk about time because, but I did read today that the green comet is coming back. It'll be here around the end of the month, and it hasn't been seen since Neanderthal time.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so look for it. I don't know if it's going to be in your neck of the woods, but anyway, what I wanted to say was that movie blew me out of the water. I dropped.
Which one?
3,000 years.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
that was a great
shit.
movie, yeah.
No. You don't know what happened. No, seriously. I mean, I'm not going to spoil for any of your listeners.
Yeah.
But
I'm not going to as well. The
ending, I just left. I just completely left my body. I was like, I didn't know. I was hysterical crying, and I didn't know why I was crying. So I kept rewinding the movie to try to figure out why I was crying. So I must have rewound that thing like 5 times, 6 times or something. And it was immense euphoria
Yeah.
and the worst horrible desperation simultaneously.
Yes. Yes. That's it.
It was like, you have no idea. How did you know? I was like, how did Emerson know that? It's like, I remember you telling me one time, it was a long time ago, like, you should watch that movie. You were making a joke, like, you made it a joke because I said I had a genie's lamp or something. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
So you thought that was funny and you said, go see this movie.
It's devastating and euphoric at the same time, isn't it? Yeah.
You don't know. I went, like I said, then I cried for like 3 days after that. Every time I turned around, I was crying. And I was like, what's wrong? But Walter Driscoll?
Yes.
He
Love
popped
Walter.
up on my, he popped up on my desktop.
Oh.
And, he made this funny video. It was a short, one of those shorts. I saw your short. Your short is cute with the red velvet. And but we were talking about, the checkmate to enlightenment. Anyway, so he made this video short about radical non-duality with a drum roll. And all I could do was so I'd be crying and then I'd go to my phone and I'd see where I locked up that video, that short. I'd play that short like 6 times in a row. And then I would just start laughing and I would be like, this is funny. Yeah, this is really funny. What's happening is really funny. It's not sad at all.
Oh.
And so anyway, I wanted to let you know, like, don't do me any more favors.
Okay.
Okay. That messed me up for a couple of days.
Okay.
I don't know what happened. I really don't. I swear. It was like, torture. It was total torture. But anyway, just another thing. Just another happening.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I should stop with my movie, but I do love them. I do love the movies.
Well, actually, it went up into my top 5. It's actually tied with number 1.
Oh, wow. What's number 1?
Really? Huh?
What's number 1?
You don't know it.
Okay.
Nobody would know it. You're too young. It's Sophie's Choice.
I've seen
Meryl
it.
Streep.
Meryl Streep, yeah.
It's a long time ago, but that was really my favorite movie.
There's another great movie that I like. It's a movie. It's called Decision to Leave, which is just watch it.
Okay.
Okay. It's a Korean movie. It's really great.
Well, you better have a funny short out by then.
I will.
I'm serious. That's the only thing that saved this person from like not going off, because it was bad. It was just crying all the time.
Oh.
I don't know why. I don't know why. It was the ending.
Yeah. Oops. What did I do there?
Oh, thanks, Emerson.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Oops. All right. Lauren. Hey, Lauren.
Oops.
Hello.
Hi, Emerson.
Is she crying?
Going on this thing about time, it's just change, is it not?
Yeah. It's an appearance of this. If it's an appearance, it's like it's an appearance. Time is an appearance, and it appears and disappears. And there's a concept of time, and there's this imaginary continuous movement of a marker, seemingly like a measurement of timelessness, right? So there's this timelessness that is appearing, and time seems to be a marker of it. So the markers are just illusory.
It's like just the hand just going around and
Yeah.
around the clock, but
Yeah.
just like in the same way that a bird isn't actually flying across the sky, it's not actually happening.
Yeah.
And so in that sense, there is no time.
There is no time. Yeah. There's no time, and there's an appearance of time simultaneously appearing in timelessness.
And that appearance of time is like one and the same with the appearance of change, is it?
Yes, the appearance of you.
Right.
Yeah, it's the same. You appear and disappear. Sometimes you are so seemingly kind of like, how do you say it? Full of you and no you. There's this kind of like angst sometimes of like, oh, I hate myself or something. And then there's this, I don't know what's going on, that kind of thing. There's just this freedom. So there's this appearance of this appearing of an appearance of time. And then where did time go? And there's an appearance of I can't wait till I stop seeking. That's the me being fully me. And then there's this I don't know, playing baseball in the middle of winter where time disappears. Have you done it?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
It should be done.
It's fun.
So this could just be an avatar, whatever. But the idea that there's somebody like controlling the rudder in the ocean of energy,
yeah,
is really what I think is the sense of me that is.
That's what propels
Mhm.
the illusion, is that there's this idea of, someone navigating.
It propels the neurosis.
It does, doesn't it?
Of responsibility and intention and, apologeticness and just all of it. Like,
Yes.
it's so ridiculous when you see that it's potentially not real.
Yes.
But it's so hard.
It's like navigating or changing a dream. If you really look at it, it's like you're in a dream. Nothing is really happening. You're trying to navigate through it. You're trying to change things. You're trying to do things, so to speak, right? And it's a manufactured movement, right? The manufactured continuity, and it's just, let's just say it's nuts.
It's like there's not even a million monkeys doing it. It's just happening.
Yeah. The million monkeys are in the dream as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so is the comet that only comes once in a once in a while. Everything is in the dream. The universe, everything in it, even the idea of parallel universe is still in this. It's just this, right? In this, everything can appear. A conversation about that movie 3,000 Years of Longing, or monkeys, and anything goes. Everything is allowed. And there's this conversation happening, and this conversation is not really happening because this is time. For this conversation to appear, time is to be involved, seemingly, the idea that this is going on. But when there's just this stillness, I'm talking about, it's like when if there is a dream happening, the moment that there is an awakeness, it's like, oh, so there's always like when I say this, it's an awakeness that this is only this. There's nothing outside of this. It's like, okay, it's happening, but it's not really happening.
Right.
It's like being awake in a dream, but there's no one awake and there's no one dreaming.
Yeah. It's like it never gets off the ground in a weird way. I don't know if it seems to be happening, but it's not possible.
Yes. It's not possible, but it's happening. So it's possible, but it's impossible at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, this is not about understanding, right? Because understanding is just another appearance, an illusory appearance of something that cannot really be understood.
Right. It
Yeah.
masquerades. It masquerades as something special because it has purchase and, relevance to the grand scheme or
Yes.
something. But it's just actually another piece of that completely like ungraspable mosaic of
Exactly.
unknown.
Yeah. It is. It's so brilliant though, and at the same time very simple. Right? It's a brilliant, masterpiece show of nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like nothing and everything with nothing in the middle.
That's right. And that not even that. You can even add not even that, because that's just another idea of what is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. But like things obviously matter so much in the appearance.
It does, because you know what? If it is a good heist movie, you're going to be really involved in what's happening.
People better get shot. Yeah.
That's right. Or they better get away with the $1 billion at the end, right? There's this investment in what is happening because it's a really good story. When the story, the central figure is you're fully invested in it. All right. It's like, oh, this is starring me. How do I get rid of the me? And then it becomes this tragedy of like, I can't get rid of the me. When it's just a comedy show. It's just a play. It's not even a comedy or tragedy. It's just a show, right? It's just what is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a grand gesture of nothing.
Oh my God. Well, that's enough for me for now.
Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, sorry, I'm not reading the Hi Julia. Hi Eri. Hi iPhone. Thoughts and time work in tandem. Yeah, seemingly. Matthew. Hey Matthew. Your past and future are just memory and imagination with no reality here. Yes. Dario goes, which movie? 3,000 Years of Longing. Laura goes, lovely movie. Yes, beautiful. Hey, John. Hey, Laura. Hey, Katriana. Katriana from Turkey, right? No. Some warm country.
Trinidad.
Trinidad.
Still hot, hey?
Yeah. Sorry about that. Oh, Paulette, it's on YouTube. Oh, cool. What my favorite movie was again? I just watched this movie. It's called Decision to Leave. It's one of my favorite directors. It's Park Wang-chuk. It's a story about a detective that gets involved with the suspect romantically. So it's like a romance, but it's an odd movie, but it's beautiful at the ending. Tell us more about No Birds Flying, please. So there is this, when it's seen that everything that is appearing is a construct, it's like a simulation or like an illusion, but it feels absolutely real, you will never figure it out because you are in the movement. Every movement, like birds flying, is not really happening. The wind blowing, the breathing, the talking, none of this is happening, but it feels like it's happening absolutely. So it's both. It's not just one thing. It's simultaneously happening. So there's this play of dancing stillness. There's this movement and stillness coexisting simultaneously. And so when it's seen, it's like a nighttime dream. There is this absolutely unquestionable reality, unpokeable at. You don't even question it. You don't even, you could be flying or swimming, for extended hours under the ocean, and you don't question the reality of it. What is being presented here, is what's being expressed or suggested, is that the birds flying, the rain, the movement of the planet is not happening at the same time because it's a dream. But it feels absolutely real. I think it was Amarali, someone might be able to help me here, that they just basically, a bunch of scientists won a prize, basically, that there is no universe. It's not localized. So everything that seems to be appearing, and then I was talking to someone before as well in a one-on-one, that what we perceive is like 6 seconds behind of what is happening. So there is some trickery of what is going on, but it's never questioned, because there is a certainty, because it's the maintenance of the character. So when the time is questioned, when the movement is questioned, when even continuity is questioned, then the one that is in peril of extinction is you. when there is just this kind of like a lot of plot holes in the story of you, then you're not really real, although you feel absolutely real. So that's what's being suggested here, is this seeming unquestionable reality, but who's maintaining it? When it's seen that there's no one maintaining it, it's just an appearance. So in this appearance, in this realistic birds flying, song singing, it's not questioned. It's like a continuous dream, but interrupted. The interruptions are illusory. And even the continuous is illusory, because it's just a dream. There is just this appearance of this movement happening. Kind of like, for example, you will never question when the dream ends and the dream begins. For example, when you sleep at night, you wake up thinking that you woke up from the dream, but another dream is beginning. This dream right now. And this dream right now that seems so absolutely real is also a dream. So there is really no nighttime dream or daytime dream. It's all a dream. And there's no history, and there's no prior, and there's no before. It's all a dream. So everything in the dream, the whole history of humankind, the whole everything is a dream, is contained in this singular appearance. That's not even an appearance, really. It's an illusion. Yes, the movie is called Decision to Leave. It's a brutal movie, by the way. Oh, yes, Jenny. Yes, plot holes. It's a lot of plot holes. It's if Jenny is an author, and when there's this narrative about what is reality, and then even if you really kind of like, because at one point, because I was one of those seeker that also compared science and everything and what reality is, I kept on going around in a circle of I can't figure this out. And it's always contradictory ideas about what reality is. And there's always because it's a subjective opinion of what reality is. Oh, sorry. I'm not seeing it. Sheer and then Shadi. Hi, Sheer.
Hi, Emerson.
Hi. Happy holidays, Sheer. Good to see you, my friend.
Same. I just like to say one thing. Who is liberated? No one. Who will be liberated? No one. What is liberated? This. What is this? Everything. What is everything? Is nothing. It's not what I said. It is the Sufi office said.
Beautiful.
You heard. You know about him, I think.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah.
This he said. Thank you.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Happy holidays.
That's it.
That's all. Everything in a nutshell. Really. Shadi, go ahead, please. Shadi.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year.
Well, after the gentleman who just said this, I really don't have anything to say, but I just wanted to touch base on your earlier point where you said there's no meaning to it then. There's no meaning to this.
Yeah. Hooray. Isn't that such a point of celebration? It's like, wow. And that's freedom. That's freedom. It's not about what your meaning is, other meaning. There's just really no meaning to this. And that's what unconditional freedom is. There's nothing to figure out. There's nothing to know. There's just this.
The only thing I wanted to just see what your experience is, you know how you have dreams at nighttime and then you wake up. They're so lucid and subtle, like fine, that it doesn't feel real. But then this dream is so solid, like there's so much matter because the sensations.
Oh yeah, but sometimes this can feel really subtle too.
When you're alone, just in nature, like space.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But as soon as you start speaking, like when I'm talking to you, it's very like, wow, peaceful, Om Shanti Shanti, nothing happening. But as soon as like, you go somewhere and you're having a discussion, whether heated or not, in that moment, it feels real. It really feels real.
Yeah. Well, again, you know what? It's the trick. It's the trickery or the persistence of the illusion. It appears in all angles, right? It's just this. It's all this movement. For example, the movement could be really lucid, or it could be really sticky. It could be really contracted. It could really be heavy, right? It's all movements. Even lucidity and even subtle is all an illusion. So all of it, it's just an appearance. There's no it appears in different varying degrees, right? There's this, sometimes you're like, everything is like a cake, a walk in the park seemingly, right? You're like, oh wow, this is so great. And then there are days that you're just like scratching your head and you're like, oh, I hate this, that kind of thing. It's the same dream.
Yeah, sometimes it feels very expanded, and sometimes it's very like
very Om Shanti Shanti, and sometimes it's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So
that still happens. Like you experience that, where there's moments of like complete like expansion, and then there's all other moments, whatever is happening for you, that it just feels very like tight.
Well, there is really no one, there's just this what isness here, right? So whatever seems to appear, it could be, I don't really worry about tightness or whatever anymore. There's just this, there's just this immediate responses. Everything is this, seeming, cause and effect, like a response to everything, but there's even no cause and effect. So for example, if I step on, a banana peel and I fall down on the floor, for example, I'm like, what the hell put on that banana peel? That's also what is. I don't consider that a contraction anymore. And I'm not going to be thinking about that for like, it's just what is. So there seems to be no grasping anymore. It's not hold on to the narrative is it's like there is really no memory, and everything that happens is just this appearance of immediacy. And the appearance in this immediacy could be swearing, it could be jumping up and down, or it could be nothing at all. So it's all an appearance. So when there's this equanimity or this sameness on all of the appearance, it's not held on to anymore. So there's no more kind of like walking around and saying, I should have not done that.
So like say like you said something and might have offended somebody or somebody else, like that guilt or whatever doesn't stick with you anymore.
No. If somebody, for example, says that I was offended, there'll be an apology here. I'm like, I'm sorry about that. It's not held on to anymore. Or when there's a noticing of something that's kind of like, that was offensive or something, I'll apologize right away. Plus I'm in Canada, right? So we always say
and then
sorry.
you're just done. You're not holding on and bringing it with you.
No. So there's no more, what do you call it? Grudges. For yourself
like
and for others.
You basically have a release type of thing.
Yeah. Again, there's nothing special about that, right? There's just, it's like, one of my friends said that it's like you're almost, what did he say it? It's like you're almost constantly forgiving, or are you constantly high because you're very forgiving? There's just an easiness. There's just a chillax dude here. Before I was an uptight kind of like person, or although I try to appear as relaxed and everything because I was a meditation teacher, but there was a lot of uptightness. So now whatever goes, there's just this, if debauchery happens, if eating too much happens, that's just what happens. Or one day fasting happens, then fasting happens. It's whatever it is it.
So you lost that whole perfectionist, like it has to be this way type of
Oh
mind.
yeah. Oh, totally.
So that's where the you release that.
Yeah. If I was still the perfectionist, I would not be able to say there's no one here. It takes a weird amount of courage to say that. Because there's this going to be this constant, caring about what others say. As liberating as speaking about this communication is, it's probably one of the most ridiculed communications out there. You should see the comments that I get. I think I've told you before, right? That it's just, so there's no 0 F's given.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Message me after. Vic and did they message you? We're going out tonight.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't get the message tonight.
Okay.
So I'll message you after.
Message me, yeah. Vic and Jack. Yeah.
Nice. Thanks.
Yeah. We're all going out to eat. My favorite thing to do. Oh, thank you, Lauren. Oh, 11 seconds before. Wow. That's a really cool article. I'll read it later. There's just this seeming kind of like, and I think a lot of characters will say this, that there is, oh, Kelsey, come, Kelsey. I can't remember what I was going to say. Message me, Kelsey. Okay. There's this seeming kind of like, I can't remember what I was going to say, actually. That's what I mean. There's no continuity. There's no prior or before. This is just an appearance. Oh, there's a question. Vera. Hi, Vera. Hello, Vera. Oh, you're muted. That's why.
Yeah, thank you.
There we go.
Yeah, just a question popped up a short time ago. It came. So, is there no cause and effects anymore?
Yeah. So when it's seen that everything that's appearing is just this dreamscape, right? This dream appearing as reality, then cause and effect is also seen as just an appearance. Although it is happening, there's a cause and effect, seemingly happening. It feels real. If I drop this mug down the floor, it will shred and it will break. I'm saying? That's a cause and effect. Everything in the dream, there's no controller, so there's really no cause and effect. There's an illusion. There's a persistent illusion that I am doing this, that if I drop this, it will break, that if I talk, you will respond. But since everything is like a nighttime dream, although this is, daytime, as I said before, there's really no difference between night and day. It's all an illusion. Everything that seems to happen, either by cause and effect or even a decision, or a seeming decision making happening or doing, is also an illusion. Because in a dream, everything that you're doing seems to be like that you're in control of it, but you're really not, because the moment that you wake up, everything collapses and it's like, okay, I really didn't do anything because it's a dream.
So that's a little bit strange, because I want to say years ago, I had still the idea, the external world, so to say, is the cause, for my, let me say, suffering.
Yeah.
There is someone or there are situations doing things to me. So,
Well, let me give you a little bit of relief. It's all you, and you're not even real.
yeah, but then later on my own, so to say, spiritual path, then I came to the conclusion, realization, okay, no, it's not the outer world, it's all my thoughts, it's all in my mind, projecting the world.
Yeah,
but nothing is.
No, there's actually no, see, it's both a movement, right? So the external and internal are both illusions. So there's no inside and there's no outside. There's no inner and there's no outer. That's what I did too in spirituality. Then, you know what? All I did was basically kind of like really, I was more in suffering because I blamed all my thoughts and trying to get rid of my thoughts and trying to meditate. Every time that I have an impure thought, I would have this reaction seemingly and trying to get rid of it. But what was the liberating part of this is both are illusory. Not just one part, but everything is an illusion.
Okay, yes, external, internal would be again a separation.
Yeah, it is another separation.
A
Yeah, you got it.
Perception.
Yeah. So what you're perceiving, everything you're perceiving is illusory. Even the perceiver is an illusory as well. So it's all the way down illusion. It's layers and layers and layers of nothing appearing as reality.
But then there are no layers.
There's also no layer because it's an illusion. Yeah.
What was the gotten to?
Again, you know what? It's like going to a heist movie and you're looking for trying to open the safe. You know what I'm saying? And you have this elaborate plan and you get to the location. You're like, oh, it's open. It's been open all this time. Meanwhile, you've been trying to kind of like plan all of this heist thing, kind of like, trying to rob the bank and everything. And, you practice and everything. You go to the place of, where the bank vault is, and it's been open this whole time.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
Whoa.
Yes.
Good. So yeah, by the way, one word, I guess it was almost two years ago, I watched this movie Tenant, and it is about moving time backwards. Things, persons, really weird and very exhausting to look at, to watch. All the, with technique, it is possible.
Oh yeah. Tenant. Yeah.
I don't know, perhaps you have heard it, but then it is even not time moving backwards.
No, there's there's no time moving forward even. You can also say there's just only dream time. In the dream, there's time. But even in a dream, especially the nighttime dream, it's so crazy, right? Because sometimes you'll dream of a something that seemingly have been kind of like for hours. And you wake up and you're like, you've only been asleep for 10 minutes. And then you have this whole dream of like a day that feels like, or you have this, really short dream and then you've been sleeping for 8 hours.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's an illusion.
That's
the plot holes of time. Sorry. That's the plot holes of time, right? The one that's perceiving time is illusory. So when it's a very simple, simple kind of like, if you deduct time, there'll be no you. If you deduct you, there'll be no time because you're the timekeeper.
I have the time in my hands and I can play with the idea of time. Yeah. Ooh.
What a relief that there's no time.
Pardon?
What a relief there's no time. It's
Yeah.
a relief. Yeah. It's not.
Hallelujah.
Oh, okay, I'm watching this. Not watching. I love books, right? So I love this author named Jose Saramago. Jose Saramago is a Nobel Prize winner. He wrote Blindness, and one book, everyone went blind. And then the one that I'm reading is called Death Without Interruptions. So one day, everyone woke up in one country, and there was no more death. No one died. So the book is moving along and trying to figure out, what are we going to do? There's no more death and everything. So no one dies. I love the way that it provokes, kind of like, it questions what reality is. That's the kind of movies I like. It provokes reality. Thank you, Vera. A lot of movie suggestions today. Yes, Eric. Oh, was it filmed in Estonia? Wow. I love that his name is, Christopher Nolan is the director. It's quite great. Yeah. Oh, Mary. Hi, Mary. Sorry. Hello. I can't hear you though.
There we go.
Hello.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Likewise.
I got, yeah, it was through Tony that I found you.
Oh.
Yeah, because you do his Zoom stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's almost like there's something in me that just, I don't get this thing. You keep talking about the heist thing, right? So somebody's going to rob the bank, but they have to, you're saying that they go into the safe. They have to do something to the safe to unlock the safe.
That's right. Yeah. So in the heist, they're usually in a heist movie. There usually is they have kind of like, a group of people get together, and then they plan this. It's a really, really well kind of like executed plan. There's a driver and everything. And then, the highlight or the finale of the movie is when they finally kind of like, run away with $1 billion. Usually some people die and everything. But what is being expressed here is kind of like the me is trying to go to elaborate kind of like, practices, trying to get there, listening. And then when they finally get to this, which is always this, it's like, oh, the safe has always been opened. There's nothing that I could have done to kind of like influence what is, because what is already free as it is. So there is this seeming kind of like seeking of something that seems to be elusive, something that seems to be hidden. Kind of like what Parsons said, it's an open secret. Yeah. This is always as it is. It's always what is. Yeah.
I think the difficulty I have is just a literal difficulty. And it's like, it's almost, I don't get the heist thing at all, because in the heist movies, they make the elaborate plan.
Yeah.
There's they go through the tunnels and they do all this stuff, and then they get to the safe, but they still have to blow the door open to get to the safe. So that's why I don't get the heist thing.
Okay. It's just a backwards heist movie. Basically, it's kind of like, it's just basically kind of like trying to get to do something, and then when you get there, like, oh, it's been open this time, open all this time.
Okay, to me, it's more like the Wizard of Oz thing, when they get to the end and they get to the professor.
Yes.
And there's nothing.
I watched this new heist. I haven't really finished it yet, but it's Kaleidoscope, right? So Kaleidoscope has 6 different episodes, and the way that the streaming does it is that you are getting the episodes in random. So sometimes it opens in like the prior to it, sometimes it goes after it. So it's a very inventive way, a creative way of a heist movie. And I was just like laughing, because at the end, you know what I'm saying, there's always going to be what is. So I just use that. I like putting stories into spin and basically making it spin like it's really nothing. It's always nothing.
Yeah. So in the end, there's nothing anyway.
There's nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. The door was always open.
The door was always open. That would be the worst heist movie, though. People will be like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Mary. Keep on
Thank you.
keep on with the questions. I love the questions.
Okay.
Apparently.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Hey, Joey. Revolver, a movie, a great heist movie too. I should call this the movie meeting. Revolver movie, a great heist movie too. Great heist, ego, the eye. There's a quote: "The greatest enemy will hide in the last place you would ever look." Yes, that's actually better expressed than what I was trying to say. What is being sought for? Well, hide in the last place you would ever look at. Meaning that what seems to be hidden, what seems to be sought for, seems to be hidden because it hides in everything. So everything that you're looking at, everything that you're feeling, everything that you're thinking about, everything that you're witnessing, everything that you're experiencing is it. And that's when it's being expressed that, it's an open secret. It is what is already. It's simply this. Is that Joey from California?
Hey, Emerson.
Hey, Joey.
Yeah, Joey from California.
Hey, Joey from California. How are you doing?
Good. I was listening to you in the kitchen, so I couldn't respond. So
Sorry.
This is Emerson.
That's me. That's me. Exactly me. Yeah.
How
are you doing? Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Happy Orthodox Christmas to those that celebrate.
It's actually this, you know what? It's so funny because I got sidetracked, but I wanted to call this the Epiphany. Because in the Catholic, this is the Epiphany.
Yeah. That's funny. I was just on social media sending that out, the Epiphany. Three stars.
We are in a Catholic household, right? So this is the Epiphany. Nothing. Nothing is everything. That's it. There is no time. Epiphany, right? There's this constant epiphany that there is this, there's this weight of something, but it's weightless, meaning it's really nothing. There's this constant reminder of something going on, but it's really not going on. So that's the Epiphany. So yeah, I completely forgot. I think someone in the beginning was talking about time, or yes, it was somewhere about being in a new year. So I just went on a tangent about continuity. What an epiphany that there's no continuity.
Yeah, it's just so it's always just so wow.
Yeah.
It's always just so wow.
Yeah, it is such a wow. That's the Epiphany. Wow.
Not a very popular message to share. I've learned.
No. Have you noticed?
So fire to you for sharing it.
Yeah. It's funny because this communication is not really going to be popular, and there are some, well, there's nothing wrong or right about it whatsoever. If I added awareness and practices, like I would probably have 10 times this audience right now.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah. Or if I added some figures into it, it would be super popular. But there's a contentment in expressing this as it is, because it's really simple. But yeah, but thank you for that quote. That was a great movie too. I love heist movies. Have you seen that new one? It's Kaleidoscope.
Which one?
It's a new one. It's I haven't finished it yet, but it's a mini series. It has 6 episodes, and the episodes are color coded. So there's a black episode, there's a pink, there's a yellow, but you can't watch the white episode because that's the conclusion. So when you watch it, it scrambles it in different sequence, right? So you will watch it differently from the way that I watched it. And if you watch it again, it will not be in that sequence again.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
mind melt. Well, that's all the stuff that I love.
I like those kind of stuff. I like heist movies, and I like just really thought-provoking, reality poking movies.
Yeah,
Mind
yeah,
benders. Mind benders is what I like.
Yeah.
It's
it's like a love for fire. It always feels like fire, but it's just, kind of like this message.
This message is fire.
Yeah. But if we're all dragons, I mean, there's no dragons, but just this energy is dragon-like, then it's fire bath is great.
Yeah. I was into being sattvic before. That's all I did. Right? Was trying to present this side of spirituality. This is not spirituality. This side of spirituality of maintaining purity. And so it's very one-sided if you really look at it. So this is everything. This is the acceptance. Although there's no one accepting, this is the radical acceptance that everything is already as it is. And there is an unspeakable freedom in what is. There is just this obvious that what liberation is cannot be captured in any practices or words, or cannot be maintained. So this is the non-maintenance. It's not maintaining what is freedom, because what is freedom could it appear as an ouch or a wow or a whatever. It appears as it is. And before it was all about repression of what is not preferred. So there is the pleasant and unpleasant, and it tries to maintain the pleasant, and it tries to do unpleasant practices to maintain the pleasant. Like sitting for 3-6 hours, that kind of thing. There's nothing wrong or right about that if that's the preference, but although there's no one preferring it. But yeah, I'd rather dance.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Just shake it all off.
Yeah.
Well, we had a good time dancing with you last time.
Yeah. We'll do one soon again. It's fun.
Yeah. Hey, if you come out to California, you got me and Tesh over here. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I'm actually going to be going to Washington. So, anyways, if whatever.
Yeah, I'll message you. Thank you very much for the generous, state your place. That's very generous.
Oh no, it's actually very selfish. I mean, we get to have nothing in our house. It's great.
I agree with Joey, by the way, Emerson. So
hey, Tej.
Look forward to you coming here. So you got two places, one in Southern California, one in Northern.
Oh, wow. I might not leave.
That's fine. That's fine with me, and I'm sure with Joey.
Yeah.
And one in Mexico.
Yes, and Baja, Jenny. Wow.
And everyone around us.
Yes, definitely. I'll let you know. I have
and one in Germany.
And where? Sorry. In Germany, yes.
One in Germany.
Yes, I will. I can't wait, but I have to take care of some family stuff, with my mom in the thing. But when that is taken care of, then of course I'll be there. And I keep on forgetting about every time that I don't have a memory. Corey, we'll have a one-on-one soon. I keep on forgetting it. And everyone that tried to do one-on-one, I'm sorry, there's just really no memory here. That's why I have that scheduling thing sometimes. But yeah, I love talking about nothing.
Thanks for demonstrating you don't need a memory.
I don't. It's actually really there was no memory even before, but that it's just really obvious that there's just really no memory. It's I have to in the dream I have to remind myself with like what do you call those apps? And in the apps I forget, But yeah, there's just really no memory. It's funny because my brother-in-law was watching me and I would put like a glass of water And then like not even a minute, I'm like, where did I put the glass of water? And he goes, are you serious? And I'm like, I don't know where I put it. And it was just, he goes, I've been watching you the whole time. You don't have a memory. And I'm like, no, I don't. And there's not even any trying anymore, right? It's just a so whatness.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. My brother, he's kind of like you. He's a singing bird and stuff, and always jovial. And people always ask him kind of the same question. They're like, how do you, why are you just wake up, singing all the time, whistling? And he's just like, because I don't have a memory.
Yeah.
So for forgiveness, it's not even an issue. It's just like, what happened yesterday or what?
Sometimes people will message me and they're like, I'm so sorry if I offended you. I'm like, oh, I'm not sure what you're talking about, and it's just everything that seems to appear is just, is also a disappearance at the same time, right? So it's like when it's seen that the dream is just, it's kind of like when you have a dream at night, you forget about the dream right away. You're like, there's this moment that you wake up and you're like, oh, it's a horrible dream or something. And then 10 minutes later, you're cooking breakfast. That's what is, right? But the illusion of the continuity is what is usually held onto and manufactured, so to speak, right? It becomes this. It's kind of like, oh, Emerson did not call me. He must be mad at me. Oh, Emerson, all that kind of stuff, and it becomes this big narrative now. And then all of a sudden, you talk to the character, and you're like, I am so sorry and the person will be like, oh, you know what? I'm just really forgetful. I'm sorry. There's no intention, whatever. There was just this forgetfulness. There is a skit. I don't know if you watch Key and Peele. There's a skit of two guys texting each other, right? So the other guy is just really happy-go-lucky, and the other person has created this whole narrative about what's happening on the other side. So to make a long story short, at the end of it, there's this guy with, the other guy is ready to have a fight with this other guy. And the other guy goes, what's up, buddy? And then he dropped the bat, because it was just all a narrative that he has created in his story, when it's really nothing. The way that he was just texting, the other person would say, what's up? And he goes, what's up? Because he must be mad. He knows what's up, and then creates this whole narrative. So that's what the characters do, is just create this whole narrative about seeking. And then somehow when it goes to sleep at night, that narrative collapses into nothing. And then it wakes up again in a continuous idea of what is. But yeah, Joey, I'll come visit you when everything is fixed here. I would love to. And Tej and everyone in California and in Germany in Kisleg.
Yeah.
And in Baja. Yeah.
Until then, you'll be in a box.
That's me right now. Yeah, that's me.
Any plans for intensive, like 1 day or 2 days? Any plans?
You know what?
For?
You're probably the fourth person that have asked me in this meeting. Someone's messaging me.
Oh, sorry.
I love doing it too. So maybe next week, maybe I'll do a 1 day, or next week I'll do a 2-3 day. I love it. I love the long format, because it's like a scraping, because it keeps on coming up with nothing, because nothing can be known, and it's just this insistent, persistent trying to figure out. And some people call it like a lobotomy afterwards. It's like or waterboarding, that nothing comes up anymore, seemingly. But that's just a story too.
Emerson,
right,
I always love your humor. Even if you don't mean it, your choice of words, it's funny. Waterboard.
M. Simers. Thanks, Jack. Hey, Tanya. Southern Cal. Oh, that's right. Hey, Laura. Oh, yes. Thank you, Tafu. I love that video. Watch that video. It's how a narrative kind of like creates this seeming kind of like it's all one-sided, and there's not even a side. There's not even one. It's zero. I used to be caught up in that, what people think. And when it seemed that there's really no others, there's just this perception of others, and the one that's perceiving is not even there. That was the wow, like, oh, wow. This whole perceiving thing is an illusion. So everything that the character perceives is illusory, including memory. Yes, yes, Kelsey, Alzheimer's.
Emerson, can I, on the subject of memory,
Yes.
there's a lot of fear here because, of relating to Alzheimer's, what's the difference?
I was actually talking to someone, I'm not sure if that person is here. We're talking about when there is just no longer narrative, right? If we really look at it, we all seemingly have Alzheimer's, right? There's just this continuous story. In the dream, when the narrative is just going blank, meaning that it's really not happening. I'm not really an expert on Alzheimer's or dementia, but from what I've witnessed in characters that have it, there's almost kind of like the narrative or the continuity, the story continuity is broken, meaning it's not even real. So they come up with I remember my grandma one time, she was just so happy. She had she was like I think she had a baby doll, and she had a big smile. She was a school teacher before, and she was a strict school teacher. She had a baby doll. And then she would look at me. She's like, are you my husband? I'm like, no, I'm your grandson. There's peace there. There's also some other people that have dementia or Alzheimer's that are in a loop of anger. But anger or even bliss is the same. It's just an illusion. It's quite fascinating. It's quite fascinating. Sometimes and it's just what is. It's also appearing as that.
So if you want to recall something in the apparent life, you can do that if you want to.
Oh, repeat that again. I can barely hear, Corey.
Oh, just no, I was just asking if there's something that you wanted to recall in your apparent life.
It's almost like it's like on demand. It's like everything is a movie, and it's on demand movie. It's kind of like streaming service. So for example, if you ask me about my childhood, I'll be like, I had great parents, and I went to Catholic school. I was in high school, and I was still in Catholic school. I did well in school. I was a class president at one time. Sometimes I would rebel and watch movies, and skip classes, although I was the class president, that kind of thing, right?
So you can actually recall the details if you want to.
But it's like a streaming service. I'm like a Netflix. Yeah. It's just Netflix doesn't have a memory, but if you press on childhood, then it will start talking about childhood. If you talk about it's the same thing, what are your plans for the future? Well, my plans for the future are I'm going to retire. It's the same story. It's not true, but it feels absolutely real. You can say that it's true and not true at the same time. It's a dream. It's beautiful when you see it. Although
nothing to fear.
Okay, thank you. We'll talk soon. Hey, Catherine. Hello.
Hi, Emerson.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah, I was sharing a memory with a friend recently, and then I was just questioning that did it ever happen?
Yeah.
It was just no certainty at all. It's just almost as if I was making it up, and it's just. I used to share it, and now it's like did it ever happen? You know, it's like questioning. It's weird.
Well, it's like a streaming movie. It's real and unreal at the same time. It did happen. It did not happen at the same time. It's just this mystery, right? This mystery that's appearing as this. It's kind of like my mom and my dad were talking to me about my nanny. I had a nanny that I'm like, I don't remember you talking about that. And they showed me pictures, you know, and I'm like, oh, I had a nanny when I was a baby, right? And I was like, I don't remember at all. And they were telling stories and everything. And I asked my brother, I'm like, do you remember, you know, mom and dad, you know, talking about my nanny, and her name is, I kept on making fun of her name because I could not pronounce it. Her name is, I kept on calling her Glucerna, which is like a diabetes drink. But again, there's just no more. And it's also seen that it's you know, although, you know, everything in the dream seems absolutely real, including memories and your parents' stories about you. You're not going to tell your parents, well, that's not real. That's not true. There's nothing happening. You're going to say, oh, how was she? You know, it's a dream. It's like being in this world and not of this world at the same time. It's like knowing and not knowing at the same time. It's like pretending and not pretending at the same time. It's like the whole thing is a movie, and sometimes we get caught up in our roles. And then our roles, you know, so the memory is like a screenplay. Did it really happen? It's a screenplay.
Yes.
It's a story. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I can't remember who I was talking to on a Zoom, and maybe I just messaged them that it just felt transparent. It's that there's something transparent that you can't describe, and no starting point and no finishing point is.
That's what's being shared, is the transparency of everything, that there's really no figuring out something that can't be figured out. There's really no position here. So it's kind of like saying that there's no one here, but it feels like someone is real. There is no time, but time is felt. People will say that, but what is felt is an illusion, although it feels real. It's like a dream, but it feels real. So again, it's a mystery of what's being spoken about. It's like, you know, like what we're talking about, it feels continuous. Like someone could say that in my history of seeking, and then when you really see it, well, there's no you that's seeing, when it's really seen, not being objective or subjective, when it's seen clearly, it's transparently empty, meaning it's really nothing. But we try to make something out of nothing to maintain our reality. But reality is also transparently empty.
I mean, this feels real, but just for that tiny second, and then when it's the end, it's gone as if it had never happened, and it's all the time.
Yes. Yeah, it's like a dream. It's exactly like a dream. When you're dreaming at night, you are, you know, you have this beautiful or horrific dream, or you can have dinner with someone. It could be a really beautiful dinner, and then there could be a horrible dinner. The moment it's gone, you know, saying the moment it's done. Sometimes you keep on, you know, maintaining the dream. It's all a dream. So no one really went to bed. No one really woke up in the morning. It's a continuous dream. And in the dream, there's a you that's sleeping and waking up. In the dream, there's a you that thinks that it's real. This is reality. So the waking up and sleeping is a dream. Any movement is a dream.
Even though, you know, you say that there's already no one.
Yeah.
When there's the belief in I, then there's the fear of this void, you know, if you're not there. And yet it would be exactly the same as it is already.
Exactly.
Since there's already
this is
no
the
I.
void.
Yeah.
This is the void.
It's devoid of the void.
It's the void of the void. Exactly.
Devoid of the void.
Yes, devoid of the void. Yes.
Yes.
It's it's just what is, right? And even this talk is saying way too much, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It's way too much, but there is enjoyment in doing these talks, but even that enjoyment is an illusion, because who's really enjoying it? No one. There's just this appearance of everything that is seemingly real, but there's also an absence of the one that thinks that it's seemingly real. Ta-da. Ta-da.
Oh dear. When you don't know, it's like Kathy was saying, she watched that film and she didn't know why she was crying, and it's like now there's laughter and it's like, what's the reason? And this it's just laughing.
Yeah. It's madness sometimes. Like one time I was like crying and laughing at the same time for no reason. I was looking at a fridge and I found the fridge really hilarious. I was looking at the fridge.
And the crying and the laughing are so close, aren't they?
Yeah. There's a saying in my language, and I'll translate it. Innocence is when you're easy to laugh and easy to cry. It's like when you tickle a child, they giggle, and then when they're hungry, they cry right away. There's just this innocence, and and what seemingly is long for is this innocence, and this innocence is in everything. So when it's seen that everything is innocently looking back at innocence, then there's laughter and tears that happen sometimes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Although
there's no one looking back and no one looking, but I'm just using language. Thank you.
We don't care, do we?
No.
We don't care.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Did any of you watch White Noise? I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to watch it. I heard it's really, really good. Thank you, Katriana. A total constant wow. Just wow. Wow. Thank you so much, everyone. Yes, you know what? I know that you guys want to do a longer format. And